Okay, everybody, thanks very much for joining me for another evening slow flow, Monday evening slow flow Hatha class. Sorry, I'm running a little bit late, and you might have noticed there wasn't the regular thumbnail up. That's because my computer just exploded about half an hour ago, and I had to quickly rustle up another one. So here we are, things are looking good, and we'll get straight into it. We've got a pretty all-round, full-body flow. As always, make sure you've got a block nearby, or a cushion, or some sort of support to elevate yourself, just in case you need it. And we're going to make our way down onto our backs. So let's go. Hopefully you can hear me. Also had to rustle up a microphone pretty quickly as well. So let's lift the chest, take a deep breath in, exhale, lower yourself down here. As always, starting off by finding breath. So let's close the eyes and settle into the body. Now it's really nice to get as sort of introspective as you can in these evening classes, because the body has sort of run its course. We're at the end of the day. And it's nice to sort of just see where you're at. So start to take a couple of deep breaths here, but without sort of concentrating the breath anywhere in the body, just noticing what parts of your body inflate and contract. Let yourself soften in. And once again, notice any sort of points in your body that might be storing tension, or any points in your body that might be tired, any points that might be relaxed. Just running your awareness up and down your body here. Bring the awareness back to the breath. And starting to create that focal point. Starting to create that space that we're going to sit in for the next 30 minutes. Finding that inhale, exhale. And we've been practicing the Ujjayi breath a little bit, especially in the fundamentals course as well. So if you'd like to create a gentle Ujjayi breath, you can. So that would mean you would gently constrict the throat as you exhale and create a nice whispering sound. This is also a very pleasant, very relaxing, very sort of sedative breath. Sedative breath? Yeah, something like that. Either way, find that breath. Let the corners of your mouth soften. And you might start to notice, like taking stages, like walking down steps. Your body starts to switch off as you fall into this space. Let everything disappear outside of arm's reach. Make this space that you're in completely yours. If your eyes are closed, maybe visualize a bubble around yourself. Let's count 10 breaths here. Breathing in and out through the nose. If you're taking an Ujjayi breath, then that's great. If not, that's fine as well. But trying to lengthen the exhale. And even create a little pause in between the in and the out breath. So let yourself sit in that expansion at the end of your inhale. And then long exhale. And sit in that gentle contraction, or that emptiness, that hollowing of the body. We've got a good few to go. We've still got about 6 breaths. See if you can just check into the sound of my voice. Hopefully you can hear it. And take a long exhale here. Inhale. And exhale. Now for the next 3 to 4 breaths, I'll let you do the breath count on your own. So I won't be cueing the inhale, exhale, and just find your speed. Remember we're softening in. We're not activating too much. We're releasing tonight. Are you still with your breath? Just checking in. Now let's take a really long breath in here. If your eyes are closed, I want you to gently open your eyes just a touch to a soft gaze. And the same goes for if your eyes are open. Gently soften your gaze. Open the mouth and take a really nice cleansing exhale here. 2 more of those. Inhale. Exhaling. 1 more. On your next inhale, I want you to feel the movement ripple up through your spine into your first pelvic tilt here. Ground down through the lower spine. Feel the tailbone lift. Inhale, arch. Pelvis rolls forward, the rest of the spine follows. And exhaling, grounding down. Inhaling. Exhaling. We might do 2 more. You can put a little bit of pressure through the heels if you like, but try not to take away or compensate for that rolling or that contraction in the abdominals. Actually, try not to put too much pressure into the heels at all. Last one, inhaling. Exhaling. Now, this time I want you to put some pressure into the heels, and I want you to point your tailbone towards your knees. So that means lifting the tailbone away from the mat. And that's all we're doing. And you're just going to feel the pressure of the soles of the feet, or even pressure through the soles of the feet, should I say. Keeping that lifting sensation just through the hips though, just through the tailbone and maybe the first link of your spine. Notice your neck here. You'll probably start to feel the quads warm a little bit as well. Stay with it. Deep breath in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, arch. Feel it ripple up into the chest. Exhale, ground down. If you need to walk the feet back in a little bit closer, that's fine. Now we're going to press into the heels, and we're just going to link or lift maybe 2 more links of the spine up away from the mat here. If you're feeling pressure in your knees, then you may have walked them back too far towards the hips. Now that we're pressing the tailbone towards the knees and the hips are starting to lift here, you might even draw back on the heels a touch and press the knees forward towards the space in front of you. Now there's potential for a bit of tension in the back of the neck here, so we might just lift the chin a little bit as well. Let's take a deep breath in, and we'll lower down on the exhale. Just 1 more of those. And we're going to really express the posture here. We're going to inhale, arch. Exhale. And for anybody that's done the fundamentals course, this will feel really familiar, this little sequence. This build up into bridge pose. Now let's lift, lift, lift. Hips up away from the mat here. Make sure the knees don't fall out to the side. Maybe even flex back on the toes and feel the big toe lift. And then start to lift even further until you feel the space between your shoulder blades pick up away from the mat. Now a few things could be happening here. We might be hunching down into the spine. So try to sort of lift yourself away from the spine by drawing the shoulder blades together here. Lifting the chin a touch, just to keep the neck from collapsing inwards. Press down through the palms. Take a deep breath in. And we're going to exhale and lower down here. Now we're going to do this really nice little movement where we're going to squeeze down through the lower back, which inherently will help you bring the knees in towards the body. And here we are. So we'll bring the hands to the lower ribs and just start to rock from one side to the next here. And don't get too crazy with this rocking sensation. What we really want to do is just have nice control over the weight of your legs without throwing ourselves around though. We're not even in a twist here yet. We're actually just introducing a little bit of sort of a twist, well, a little bit of a twist. We're introducing a little bit of movement into the spine, but still recruiting in the lower abdominals just a little bit as well. There's a little bit of firmness there. Very nice. And then we're going to do the same thing, but in the opposite direction, or in a different direction. We're going to inhale and arch, which inherently will let the knees fall away from the body. I'm not actually moving my legs. My hips are just rolling forward and back. I'm going to exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. Now, notice what's happening here. Really try and notice the pelvis roll forward and back. We're not moving the knees so much as it's all happening from here in the lower body. Exhales. If anything, my knees and my hips are sort of locked in to my body there. Now I'm going to inhale and lower the left foot down. And then exhale, bring this right knee in towards the body here. Now you can keep it just like this and that's fine. And there's the option to extend the right leg. Now this could put pressure on the lower back, or you can just play with it. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm supporting my body with the left foot. I'm going to inhale, let the lower back lift away from the mat. So the chest's expanding here. Then exhale, squeeze down. So this is just adding a bit more resistance. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Now as we exhale, let's bring that right knee back in. Wrap the hands around the back of the thigh here. Now for this one, we want to tuck the chin a little bit because it's tempting to open the throat too far. We're just going to press in to the sole of the foot here. But once again, not lifting ourselves up and getting too crazy, and just rock from side to side. So we're building on the last two postures here. Nice. And then lowering back down. Let's use the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Left knee comes in. Now I'm pressing through this right foot to keep me grounded. I'm going to extend this right leg as I inhale. And this is optional. You can keep the knee bent. As I let the ribs flare. There's potential for tension in the lower back here. So just be mindful as we move. Exhale. This is real, pretty strong core work. So it's up to you. Just take as much out of it as you like. Remember, we're always moving from where we are. It might look like this. It might look like this. It might look like this. Inhale. Last one. As we exhale, we bring the left knee back in. And if I did the wrong amount that time, sorry, I always lose count. So we're going to press into the left heel. And we're lifting towards the ceiling. And you can put a bit of pressure through the sole of the foot, but not too much is happening here in the arms. Take a deep breath in. Once again, we're just rocking from side to side here. And once again, that might look like this as well. We don't want to over-dramatize things. We don't want to be just making shapes. We're exploring. Perfect. Let's release that, or the hands from the back of the left thigh. Let's bring the right knee in to meet the body, or in to meet the hands here. We'll take a deep breath in. Let's arch the lower back. Exhale, squeeze down. In towards the ribs with the thighs. One more of those. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to inhale. Let my hands away from the knees. Let the soles of the feet come back down to the mat here. On my next exhale, I'm squeezing into the back of the hands. And I'm going to lift up into a seated position. Now coming straight over onto hands and knees here. Straight into a few little cat-cows. Magic movement. So we're going to press the chest forward. Exhale, arch. Inhale. Exhale, arch. Now really feel the shoulder blades separate. Feel yourself lift out of your shoulders. And then we're not slumping in, we're actually pressing forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good, let's come back to a neutral position. Let's bring the knees forward just slightly. Bring the hips back down over the heels here. Now, this might be plenty, walking the hands back towards the hips, towards the knees, and stacking the shoulders just a little bit. This might be a lot, and we can take 5 breaths here, and that might be plenty. Now, if you want to go one further, you might bring your hands up to the hips. And if there's tension in the knees here, you can even put something in between your hips and your heels, and that's cool as well. But what we're actually looking for, this is called fire toes, is that grounding through the hips, down through the heels and through the toes. Then the toes sort of flex back. And you can even sort of draw the tailbone in a touch, which will bring the ribs in, lengthen through the back of the neck. Very nice. Take a deep breath in. Once again, don't put your knees under any pressure. If you need to sit up, that's fine. Long exhale. Inhale, keep the energy low and being explorative. Your hands might still be here as well, and that's cool. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to go into this really nice flow, everybody. What we're going to do is untuck the toes. And we're just going to sink back down over the heels, just to stretch it over the tops of the feet a little bit there. We're going to inhale, press the chest forward. Exhale, arch again, so they're kind of like cat-cows. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Now we're going to inhale, come forward up onto the fingers again. Now this is going to take a little bit of concentration. You might not get it straight away. But what we're going to do is we're going to walk the hands back. We're going to lift the knees. So we're up onto the balls of the feet here. Fair bit going on. And then I'm going to press into the balls of the feet. And I'm going to keep the knees bent a lot, and my heels are making contact with the mat here. Sliding the hands up to the shins, and I'm just going to lengthen myself towards the space in front of me. Not looking forward so much, so I'm just sort of looking down towards my toes even. Then I'm going to exhale, bring the ribs down, come forward, down to the fingertips, inhale, lift the chest, untuck the toes, exhale, spill forward. Now we're going to go through all of that again. So we're going to slide the hands back, and I'm going to go real slow so we can all sort of follow along. Now I'm going to tuck the toes under, and I'm sort of pressing my hips back towards my heels. And you don't have to sit all the way back down over the heels. And then I'm rolling onto the balls of the feet here. Sliding the hands up. Bending the knees a lot. Let's make contact with the knees with the ribs and folding forward. Walking the hands forward. The knees come back down. Inhale, lift the chest. We might even untuck the toes here. And then exhale, spill forward. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, so sort of cat-cow here, and then exhale, and I'm lifting the tailbone just like I might in downward dog. And notice what's happening here. I haven't walked my hands all the way back. So I'm actually going to do that now because I'm prepping my arms for movements to come later on. In another class, that is. Not in the next 10 minutes. Sliding the hands up, inhale. Exhale, spilling forward. We're going to do one more. Coming back down, lift the chest. As you exhale, untuck the toes, sink back down into your child's pose variation here. Inhaling. Now, watch what's happening here. I'm just going to bring my hands sort of halfway back towards my knees. And this might not work for you. You might even have your hands on a block. And you might have your hands all the way back. But if you want to bring the challenge up just a little bit, you can start to roll yourself back. And then lift, walking the hands back. Now, from here, this time, I'm just going to slide my hands up my shins. Now I'm going to bend the knees a lot. Once again, exhale, and just let my hands fall to the mat here. I'm going to gently press into one heel and then the next. I'm bending one knee and I'm straightening the other. And I like to have hands to elbows, but if you need the balance, you can have the hands on the mat here. And I'm just letting myself swing from side to side. And you might make sure that your feet are at hip distance apart, or even slightly wider, but not too close in. That's it, and I'll just come to the middle of the mat, so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see, and you can start to exaggerate those movements a little bit if you like. At the back of the neck, soften here. Now we're going to take this really, really cool move where I'm going to bend the knees so much that I can bring my hands down to the mat here, and I'm going to place my fingertips, palms facing up, underneath my toes, and this is called gorilla pose. And I'm going to just let myself spill forward, and I'm going to let myself melt down over the thighs here, and I'm going to lift the hips just a little bit. And once again, I'm sort of still restorative here. I'm not getting too crazy into any forward folds. If you like, you can bring the feet up to the palms of the hands. And from here, you would just let yourself spill in. And your fingers might just be on the toes, and that's cool as well. Your hands might not even be on the toes. Your hands might still be on the shins, and that's cool as well. We've been here for a good few breaths now, so we're just going to take 2 or 3 more. Exhaling, if you can, for this last breath, try to breathe up the back of the thighs. Lift, lift, lift. Then as you exhale, just let it cascade off your spine. Wherever your hands are, let's release your hands, let's slide them back up. Under the shins, that is. Bend the knees. And we're just going to lower back down to the mat here. And do this little movement that I love so much, where we bring the knees in really nice and close and rock from side to side. Looking for a few little pops and cracks there. That's it. I've got one. We might come back in the other direction now. I've started to come in to little circular motions. That's up to you. You can still do it in sort of a linear way if you like. Now we're going to come back up to a neutral position here. And this is our final movement. This is going to be a really nice one. As best we can, we're going to bring our right foot forward. We're going to place it next to the right hand. Now what I'm going to do here is going to place this right hand on the inside of my right knee. So it's going to the inside. You can even heel toe that front foot out a little bit if you like, not too far. And I'm just going to start to rock into the posture. And I'm going to come back out. Now, this movement doesn't matter too much. We're just sort of setting ourselves up. What I'm allowing to happen is the weight to fall into the blade of my right foot here. And I'm going to sink in. And I'm in this big kind of lizard lunge. And normally what we would do in a lunge is we would keep the knee stacked above the heel and in line with the knee and all lined up. For this one, I'm actually holding most of the weight up in my fingertips or in my hands. And then I'm going to spill down with that right knee. Try not to fall into the shoulders here. Try to stay open in the chest. Your hands might be on a block as well. That's a really nice way to stay upright. The block might be up on a higher setting. Let's take 3 breaths from here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. And let's exhale, come back. I'll get this block out of the way for the moment. And bring this right foot back. We're going to come straight into the next posture. So we'll take a deep breath in. And exhale, step through. If it takes a little bit of this, that's okay as well. I'm going to inhale, bring myself forward. So I'm just testing where my hips are at here. And this is as energetic as we're going to get, guys. I'm coming back, just to lengthen the spine a little bit. Coming forward, and then swapping the left hand for the right foot. Now, if this is feeling a little bit off and you feel like you're a little bit unstable, let's get the block involved. And we'll be up on the block, however that might be. And we're going to let this left knee just sort of spill out a little bit. So the arch has picked up off the mat here. And I'm just going to hold for 5 breaths. And you're going to want to let your belly spill out here, but try to lift the belly just a touch. You'll feel this right glute switch on. Really nice engagement there. You'll feel this nice opening in the right hip flexor here. And imagine like a lizard sitting on a rock, you're sort of lifting the chest as well. Proud shoulders. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. And exhale as we start to put the weight back down into this front foot. And we're going to bring ourselves back into the right knee. Sliding back. Get this block out of the way for the moment. Sink back down over the heels and just start to rock yourself from side to side a little bit there. Now I've got the knees in nice and close. Feel some restorative sort of pressure into the knees there. Perfect, guys. Take a deep breath in. Let's come up onto hands and knees here. And bring the knees forward. And that's pretty much it. We're coming down into a reclining position. We're going to slide our hips forward. Take a deep breath in, lift the chest. Make your way down onto the mat. Reclining here. Walk the feet back towards the body. We're going to inhale, arch. We're going to exhale, flatten. We're going to press into the heels, lift the hips up off the ground. Final bridge pose, just like we set it all up earlier. Tailbone, then the links of the spine lift one by one up towards the shoulders. And you can make this as energetic or as restorative as you like here. If you want to sort of reach the hands up overhead, you could, but we don't want to get too crazy. I like to even let the palms fall out to the side. It's quite nice. Then press the backs of the shoulders back into the mat. Take a deep breath in and lower down. Knees are coming in towards the body, that is, and then we're going to just do some really nice restorative circles with our knees here. And there's no right or wrong. Sometimes people will end up doing this, and that's cool as well. If that's the case, then make sure you move in both directions. But it is really nice to spill the knees out in opposite directions. So if you find yourself doing that, then brilliant. And come back in the opposite direction. Then we're going to bring the knees back in towards the midline. Take a breath in. And squeeze the knees in towards the lower ribs here. Create that lovely compression in the abdominal cavity. It's really nice to put that pressure into the organs. What's even better is to release. Let all the blood and all the expansion happen in the lower body, in the engine room of your body there, and then exhale. Put that pressure back down into the digestive organs. One more inhale. Really just massaging out your abdominal cavity here. And then that'll be about it. We'll release the hands, extend the legs. And let yourself melt into the mat. Savasana, guys. Move the body around a little bit. Lengthen the neck. If your body doesn't feel right, totally flat, then put something underneath the knees. Put something underneath the head if you'd like. Sometimes it's nicer to have the head propped up. Do what works for you. Where your hands fall or where your hands are most comfortable, let it be. Take up some room. And give yourself a few moments of stillness here. And often I'll sort of make these cues to imagine yourself becoming really heavy and melting in. But I think what's even nicer is to imagine yourself floating. Imagine yourself just floating through the air. Imagine you're weightless now. And there's no downward pressure, there's no gravity. Everything is effortless. And all the thoughts sort of just float away. The peripheral of your mind's eye is just clearing, like clouds disperse. So do your thoughts. They just dissipate little bit by little bit until your mind is clear. Just a few moments here. No effort at all. And then reach the hands up overhead, take a deep breath in. And walk the feet back towards the body. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Wrap the hands around the backs of the shins. Give yourself a really passive squeeze and maybe rocking from side to side. Or whatever movements works best for you guys. Then we'll make our way up into a seated upright position. Making that nice passive transition, guys. With hands at heart center. Sealing our practice as always with gratitude for ourselves, each other, our bodies, our ability to change and learn and grow and adapt. The food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe. We'll take a deep breath in. Namaste.